name is Luke Bauman. I'm the team leader of the Luke Bauman Real Estate Team. I am joined here with Brian Meiste of Meiste Homes. Brian, you're known to build custom homes on Lake Macatawa. Can you share with our audience some of the differences of what you experienced when building a home on the lake compared to building a home maybe in a subdivision?
Sure. One of the things that is different about building a home on Lake Macatawa, or any other lake for that matter, is just understanding the high water mark.
Okay.
100-year floodplains, 500-year floodplains can make a big difference in elevation of the home. Also, design aspect with whether or not you're going to work with an architect. Features like that to really enhance the features of the site.
Gotcha.
That architects are important, in my opinion, for really enhancing the build site.
Okay. Do you need to get special approval from any sort of wetlands or DEQ permits or anything like that to build on the water?
That can happen. Some sites are less restrictive than others. Understanding the municipality you're building in and the governance over the site is very important. One of the things that we look for when we start a project is just connecting with the township, getting surveys of the property to know if there's any portion of the property that's potentially in a wetland or below the floodplain.
Yeah.
Understanding those is important, just to be able to establish the ground floor for the home.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
And then soil erosion is also a big issue. Making sure that you're taking the necessary precaution and permitting for establishing silt fencing and proper maintenance of the site to be sure that there's no additional erosion into the waters.
Yeah. So it sounds like there's a few more steps to go through when building on the lake compared to just in a subdivision.
Yeah, absolutely. And even just the amount of wind you can have off a lake. So having a good quality window is important. Understanding the design pressure rating of the windows that you're ordering. Some windows are built to actually fail at a lower level of wind. You pay less for them.
Yeah.
So that's why we recommend a good quality window on a lake front where winds can be a little higher.
Yep.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What are some of the features that home buyers are looking for when they're building a custom home on the lake?
Some of the things that are important that we work through, and sometimes with the architect, is just being able to have that lake access washroom.
Okay.
So if the family is out at the water and they want to come in and take their swimsuits off and they have lots of sand on, so just having that close access for a washroom.
Yep.
Maybe even a stackable washer and dryer in a small closet off from a back entry somewhere. It's just a nice little extra that a lakefront home lots of people like to have. In addition, porches, and you're really utilizing that lakefront.
Yeah.
Just having that outdoor living space extended out of the home is a nice feature.
Yep. Probably windows, views are important.
Absolutely. Utilizing as much view as you can of the water. Again, that's where an architect can really lay out the design to enhance as much view of the water as possible. Maybe not necessarily big windows looking at the side of your neighbor's home,
right,
but really capturing those right angles with the design to really capture those views.
Okay. Now you mentioned a lot about the floodplains and wetlands. For building a home on Lake Macatawa, are people typically concerned about having water in the basement? Is there things that you need to do to make sure, or are you just not building basements at all and it's usually like a crawl space?
It really depends on the level of grade above the water. Above the water, the home is able to be built. We always recommend a minimum of 12 inches above the 100-year floodplain with your lowest elevation, with your lowest floor.
Okay.
If you can build above the 500-year with that lowest elevation, that's even better. And those benchmarks are preset through the state. So on inland lakes, some lakes you don't have that luxury of understanding high water marks, so it's good to have some local knowledge from local building officials as to where the high water marks are for that lake. Because some of them aren't regulated like some of the bigger lakes are.
Right.
So understanding that and building above that high water mark is critical. And it's actually now enforced by many local code officials.
Gotcha.
Yep.
It's 10 degrees out today.
Yeah.
It's been a cold winter.
Yeah.
What are the differences that you need to do when building a home in the winter compared to building in the summer? Maybe specifically to Lake Macatawa, but if it's all homes in general,
sure,
you can share that as well.
Yeah. One of the biggest factors with building in the winter is having a flexible schedule.
Okay. So patience with...
Patience is a big factor because there's going to be a few days or even maybe a week like we had earlier a few weeks ago where the construction just comes to a halt if the house isn't enclosed. You can't move forward. But using precaution with concrete is important. We're not going to pour in sub-zero weather ever. We watch the forecast really close to make sure we're in a little warm up before we would pour a foundation or any flat work.
Yeah.
Concrete is, one of the building materials and components of your house that's, foundational in aspect, but it's also important that you don't jeopardize that by pouring in too cold of conditions. So we watch that really closely, and that's extremely important. Otherwise, it's just bundle up and keep going.
Right.
We live in Michigan.
Right.
So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then as far as you do a lot of new construction, do you guys do any sort of like additions for people who are considering, adding onto their home on Lake Macatawa?
Yeah, we're primarily a custom home building company. We've done a lot of tear down, rebuilds, a lot of that. In challenging sites, we do a lot of that. As far as additions and renovations go, we don't take too many of those projects. I wouldn't say we rule it out completely, so give us a call if you're in question, but typically we're a new home contractor.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. And then just last thing, I appreciate you joining us, but if someone's considering building on Lake Macatawa, how can they reach you? What's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
Sure. Our office is located on Lakewood Boulevard next to Salt and Pepper Bar and Grill, and you can stop in there. Our phone number is 616-392-4814. Go to our website, meistehomes.com. Check out all our current offerings, things that's going on. Connect to the Facebook link. You can see many of our projects. And so, yeah.
Perfect. Appreciate your time today.
Yeah.